Hello, everybody. I'm back here with my regular topic of my charge to Nigeria and Nigerians. Today's topic is Nigeria must introduce population control now. That's one of the major needs of our country. We must introduce and regulate population control if we are going to last and if we want to give a better standard of living to our people. Now Nigeria is being clamored as the poorest country in the world, but really it's not the poorest country in the world, but it has the poorest people in the world. And the reason for that is because the per capita income is not enough. It's not going around. The wealth we are creating right now is not, we are not creating wealth fast enough, and we are not creating enough wealth, generating enough wealth to be able to feed all our people. So by the time the money we have and the wealth that we have generated goes around, it's not enough. It makes us the country with the poorest number of people in the world, because our population is only 50% literate, and because of that, only about 50% of people are producing what they owe 100% are depending on. And out of that 50%, only about 20% are truly educated. So only 20% of the country is pulling the weight of 100% of the people. The rest of the 80%, they are just crawling, and they are hanging on to the top 5% that are professionals that are working. We need to get our country educated as fast as possible. We need to make everybody productive as fast as possible. To be competitive in a fast-moving world, everybody needs to contribute to the economy. And for that to happen, we need to make sure that we slow down the growth rate that is outgrowing the growth. We need to slow down the growth rate of childbirth, and because that growth rate of children and population is overriding the growth of the economy. If that keeps on going, we will become even poorer and poorer and poorer. So the only way to stop the poverty level of Nigerians right now is to slow down the growth of the population and increase the growth of the economy, 2-3 times. Then we can begin to talk about the increased standard of living. Otherwise, miracle will not happen. So Nigerian government, I hope you are hearing me, we must begin to regulate the population now, the population growth. So the population of Nigeria is growing at a rate of 3.7%. Now, before it was about 2.7%. Now it's 3.7%. We are even growing faster. We are like a catastrophe that is waiting to happen. So 3.7% indicating we are doubling that. If we are growing by 3.7% as a population, it means that we are doubling our population as a country every 20 years or every 22 years. The whole population of Nigeria is doubling. So if we are 200 million now, in the next 22 years, we are going to be 400 million, and then so on and so on. So which means that every single year there are 7 million people being added to our population every single year. This rapid population growth results in small or no growth in the per capita standard of living of our people. The government also needs to adapt population policy or policies encouraging the lowering of the fertility level of fertility rate of our people. If it were to provide, if we as a country want to provide education to all our people, and then we need money to do that. And the money we need to do that is not coming forth because the money is not being, by the time we distribute it, it will not get to those most vulnerable people in the society. But education is key, because if we educate our women, if we give women free education in primary school, secondary school, at least primary, secondary school, and then give them some vocational training, then the women will not be getting pregnant every day. The only thing they are doing every year is getting pregnant. But if they have professional or vocational training and job, they will be busy and they will be distracted by that job, and that job will not allow them to be getting pregnant every year or every other year the way things are going right now. Another thing that we have to introduce in our schools is family planning or sex education. We need to introduce that in the curriculum and in the society at large, for the adults especially. Now, the government must play an active role in family planning programs, especially in educating rural women about family planning. Like, for example, in Europe here, those kind of things are taken care of by the local government. So the question is, what are local governments doing in Nigeria? We should educate the local people and make them to realize that this thing is killing them and killing all of us together. So it should also, our government should also use the media to promote small family sizes and to regulate the population growth. So the media will not we shouldn't just be entertained by people dancing and singing and going to doing Nollywood and laughing and things like that. We should use media to educate the masses and to let people's mind open and to let people's eyes open to the danger of just giving birth to children unlimitedly. So how do we fight this problem? What are the challenges that are inhibiting this, our being able to resolve this problem? What are the challenges that we are going to face? What are the hurdles that we need to cross? What are the main problems that are causing this problem to remain unsolved up to today? Number one problem of population growth in Nigeria is our religion, especially Islamic religion. Because the Islamic religion in Nigeria promotes large families with the encouragement of early marriage of children, and also they practice polygamy. So that by itself is a whole combination of evil. And you might not like what China is doing with their Muslim population. That is horrible, but they needed to regulate that Islamic tenets and doctrines one way or the other. But even that is old-fashioned, because in the Islamic countries of today, go to Kuwait, go to Saudi Arabia even, go to United Arab Emirates, go to all these Qatar, all these countries, they are no more practicing all these outdated Islamic, Islamic practices. These are outdated things that are still being practiced in Nigeria. All those, marrying children, marrying 4 wives. Even the Arab normal, real core Arab countries are changing. So what are we doing in Nigeria that is not even our religion? We just adopted it, and then we are, embracing the weak and the bad side of that religion that is killing the whole country, is killing both Christians and Muslims. So the government must do something about putting regulations in the practice of outdated tenets of the religious Islamic religion. But even Christians are not better, because a lot of Christian churches, they are against contraception. So they said you will never control, no family control. If they don't believe in family control, that is another problem. So both religion, Islam and Christianity, they are some of the real problems why we're having this population explosion that is bringing us to poverty. In many cultures in Nigeria, also our culture also, promotes, this kind of fertility that is bringing to us to population explosion and bringing us to poverty. Because in many of our cultures, male offspring or male child are more highly valued than female children. For a variety of reasons they do this. Some of them do it because they want to have their names retained. They want to say, oh, it's only a son that could retain their name. And then other ones do it because they want the maid to come and work in the farm. Other ones do it because they say the girl child will be married away, so nobody is left at home. So all kind of reasons, but our culture is another reason why we are in poverty today. So the perceived need to have many babies in order that some will survive is another reason why we are having so many children. And then the need for some local people to have more men, more hands to work in the farm is another problem. Other people are giving birth to so many children so that there will be children to take care of them at old age. Those are some of the reasons that we're having this population explosion that is creating more problems to us than solution. The overall effect of this growth in our population is affecting the living standard of our people. Resources are not enough to take care of everybody, and the environment is collapsing under the weight of our population. So if we don't do something urgently, all these things will continue to change the Nigerian landscape for a very long period of time to come. If something is not done urgently right now, we must checkmate the rapid population growth of Nigeria. Now, what are the consequences? What are the why is it bad for us? Apart from poverty that population growth is giving to us, what are the other bad things? What are the disadvantages that we're having with this rate of growth in our population? Number one, we will never have enough electricity. The energy consumption depends on the number of people demanding that energy. Right now, the amount of electricity that we have is only enough for 50 million people, right? But we're having 200 million people right now, 4 times more. So by the time in the next few years, we are going to double again. It's going to be 400 million people. So, energy consumption, we will never be able to produce enough energy. That's one problem as well. Another problem is carbon emissions, because even if it is 1% that is being able to become elite or to drive car, to even if they are not driving car, transportation needs and cars and buses and all the transportation something and the factory to feed them, they are producing carbon emissions that is destroying the eco balance of the country. Air pollution is increasing because of the increase in population. Human congestion is increasing. Especially the air pollution in major cities like Lagos. Go and see what is happening there. The pollution coming from the automobiles and diesel-fueled electricity generators, and almost these generators are in every family. They are choking the air in countries. In the whole country and the cities. So these are bringing about the plague of smoke. Daily you see smoke in Lagos and everywhere surrounding the skyline of the central city. So, it's just catastrophe everywhere if we don't do something to lower the population increase of our country. Maybe we have to learn from China. But China knew that this is a big problem and it was going to be a major problem to them in the future. So they have to introduce the law for that only 1 child per family. My proposal, though, would be to limit the number of children at least to 3. Let's start with 3. Because if we don't start with 3 now, if the government will not be bold enough to take that decision, that only 3 children per woman or per family, let's say per woman, then we will get to a place that we will be forced to limit, to 1 child per family, just like China has done. But because of the Islamic religion that we have, so what do we do with families that have polygamy? Well, if you want to have 4 children, if you want to have 4 wives, we are going to limit, the government should limit the number of children to 5 children per family. Even if you have 10 wives, you must not have more than 5 children. But if you have 1 wife, we should encourage the ones who are having 1 wife. So the one who has 1 wife should be allowed to have 3 children in the family. But the ones who have 10 children, 10 wives or 2 wives or 3 wives should not be allowed to have more than 5 children. Once you do, then you have to pay taxes for that. You have to pay more money for that or go to jail. If we don't adopt this solution right now, we will be forced to adopt the 1-child policy like China when the situation gets out of hand. So, President Buhari, APC, National Assembly, I hope you are hearing. And I hope you act and do something about this. Social organizations, public pressure groups, NGOs, raise your voices and let's deliver our land from self-destruction. For the love of God, church, and nation. Peace.